Chapter 9, Reconstructing Dreams. A year had spun by, a revolution of seasons that had painted Lake Serenity in hues of both vibrant life and desolate stillness. For Mia, the canvas of her life had been repainted too, splashed with colors she hadn't dared imagine a year ago. Her apartment buzzed with a joyful chaos. Laughter spilled from the open windows, mingling with the aroma of freshly baked cookies. Tonight was her birthday, and her friends had gathered to celebrate, transforming her living room into a haven of warmth and affection. Streamers in pastel shades crisscrossed the ceiling, fairy lights twinkled like captured stars, and a playlist of upbeat tunes filled the air. It was a stark contrast to the sterile silence that had haunted her old apartment, the one she had shared with Alex. Chloe, ever the effervescent spirit, flitted around, refilling glasses and making sure everyone had a slice of the decadent chocolate cake. Liam, another close friend, was engaged in a spirited debate about the merits of various art movements with a new acquaintance of Mia's, a gallery owner named Ben. The atmosphere was light, buoyant, and genuinely happy, and at the heart of it all was Mia, radiant in a floral dress that mirrored the blossoming garden she now tended on her balcony. But the most striking difference wasn't her attire or her surroundings. It was the genuine sparkle in her eyes, the easy smile that played on her lips, the sense of peace that radiated from her very being. She was, quite simply, happy. David, her boyfriend, stood beside her, his hand resting gently on the small of her back. He watched her with an admiration that was both tender and unwavering. David was a sculptor, a man of quiet strength and profound empathy. He had entered her life at a time when she was still piecing herself back together, carefully gluing the shards of her broken heart. He hadn't rushed her, hadn't pressured her. He had simply been there, a steady presence, a safe harbor in the storm. As Mia circulated through the party, accepting hugs and well wishes, she paused to catch David's eye. He offered a warm, reassuring smile, and she felt a surge of gratitude for this man who had shown her that love could be gentle, patient, and most importantly, honest. Later, as the party began to wind down, and a few guests helped to clean up, Mia and David found themselves alone on the balcony, overlooking the twinkling lights of the city. He turned to her, his eyes filled with affection. "Happy birthday, Mia," he said softly, brushing a stray strand of hair from her face. "You deserve all this happiness and more." Mia leaned into him, her head resting on his chest. "Thank you, David," she murmured, "for everything." He held her close for a moment, then pulled back slightly, his expression turning serious. "I know things weren't always easy for you," he said. "I know you've been through a lot." Mia nodded, her gaze fixed on the distant horizon. "I have," she admitted. "Alex, he hurt me deeply. It took me a long time to trust again, to believe that I was worthy of being loved." David cupped her face in his hands, his touch gentle yet firm. "Mia, you are infinitely worthy of being loved," he said, his voice ringing with sincerity. "You are kind, intelligent, beautiful, and strong. Don't ever let anyone make you feel otherwise." He paused, then added, "I understand if you find it difficult to trust me fully. I will never rush you. I just want you to know that I will always be here for you, no matter what." Mia looked up at him, her eyes shining with unshed tears. "I do trust you, David," she said, her voice thick with emotion, "more than I ever thought possible. You've shown me what real love is, what it means to be truly seen and accepted for who I am." She took a deep breath, then continued, "With Alex, it felt like I was always trying to be someone else, someone he wanted me to be. With you, I can just be myself, and that's the most incredible feeling in the world." David smiled, his eyes crinkling at the corners. "I love you just the way you are, Mia," he said. "Never forget that." He leaned in and kissed her, a slow, tender kiss that spoke volumes of his love and devotion. As they parted, Mia felt a sense of peace wash over her, a feeling of finally being home. Later that week, Mia celebrated another milestone. After months of meticulous planning and tireless effort, she officially launched her own design company, Bloom Designs. It was a dream she had harbored for years, a dream she had almost abandoned in the wake of her heartbreak. But with David's unwavering support and her own newfound sense of self-belief, she had finally taken the leap. The launch party was a small, intimate affair held at a local gallery. Mia had transformed the space into a showcase of her unique aesthetic, with vibrant displays of her textile designs and handcrafted furniture. The atmosphere was buzzing with excitement and anticipation. As she mingled with our guests accepting compliments and congratulations, Mia felt a surge of pride and accomplishment. She had not only survived her heartbreak, but she had thrived. She had rebuilt her life from the ground up, creating a world that was authentically her own. Later that evening, as she was locking up the gallery, Mia paused to reflect on her journey. She thought about Alex, about the pain he had caused her, about the dreams they had once shared. She realized that she no longer felt anger or resentment towards him. She simply felt a quiet sense of gratitude for the lessons she had learned. She had learned that promises can be broken, that love can be fleeting, and that people can change. But she had also learned that she was stronger than she ever thought possible, that she was capable of healing and growing, and that she deserved to be happy. She had learned that true love is not about possession or control, but about freedom and acceptance. It's about seeing someone for who they are, flaws and all, and loving them unconditionally. It's about supporting their dreams, encouraging their growth, and standing by their side through thick and thin. As Mia walked home that night, she gazed up at the stars, her heart filled with hope and gratitude. She knew that the future was uncertain, but she was no longer afraid. She had learned to trust herself, to believe in her own strength, and to embrace the unknown with courage and grace. She thought about the heart-shaped pendant, now lost in the depths of Lake Serenity. It was a symbol of a love that had died, but it was also a reminder of the woman she had become. She had shed her naivety, her insecurities, and her dependence on others. She had emerged from the ashes of her broken relationship, a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of herself. And as she entered her apartment, filled with the warmth and love of her new life, Mia knew that she was finally home. She had reconstructed her dreams, not in the way she had originally envisioned, but in a way that was far more meaningful and fulfilling. She had found her own path, her own purpose, and her own happiness. She was no longer defined by her past, but by her present and her future. And that future, she knew, was bright. Inside her apartment, Mia paused by the window, her gaze drawn to the lush garden on her balcony. The flowers were in full bloom, their vibrant colors a testament to the life and love that had taken root in her heart. She smiled, a genuine, heartfelt smile that reached all the way to her eyes. She was ready for whatever the future held, knowing that she had the strength and resilience to overcome any challenge. She had learned that even after the harshest winter, spring would always return, bringing with it the promise of new beginnings and the beauty of a world reborn.